actually been secretly stalking you for a couple of years and watching Fearless grow. So
Cool.
Congratulations and thank you seriously for the opportunity to partner with you.
No, thank you. This is a lot of our members speak very highly. I've taken your classes before, love it, and Russ Ortiz, Suzanne Ramsey, Restiva, they both said to me a couple weeks ago when I first met Suzanne. She was like, you have to meet Jared Kelner. And I said that's ironic because we had just released the class. So I think this collaboration is going to be very exciting. I think we both approach the method with a lot of passion and a lot of good intent. So it's going to be fun.
So we met a couple of weeks ago,
Yep.
had a nice coffee, just started to feel each other out,
Yep.
and found like we had what I felt were very compatible philosophies on the craft of acting.
Mm-hmm.
You made a comment that really stuck with me, so I'll share it back with you and then give me your thoughts.
Okay.
So I'm huge craft process oriented, trained in a whole, you just throw a dart, I've taken that class, I've studied that, I've taught that. What you said was really the difference between our philosophies are I'm bringing the craft to the actor and you're finding a way to bring the craft out of the actor.
Right.
And I really liked that approach of bringing it to them and then also finding the craft within them and bringing it out. Just thoughts on that process.
Yeah, that's the whole, when I did my last class, Creating the Fearless Instrument, it was a result of numerous people that I've directed and worked with in the past that loved the audition process and loved the process of me directing them in such a fashion that they felt that they were a better actor at the end of it. And too many people have said, as always I got into acting, I heard one too many persons say, you should be an actor, you should be an actor, you should be an actor. And then I heard you should be a director, you should be a director, you should be a director. Well, these people that I was directing would say, you should really teach a class. So I think one of my strong qualities is that I like and I enjoy people and I enjoy finding out what they're about. And I'm a pretty good judge of character and a pretty good, I like knowing that person, getting inside of them and being able to tap into their qualities and their strengths and bring that out on stage and to utilize it as on their utility belt of emotions.
Yeah, and, we say the actor's toolbox.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's where I stem from. If I'm asking somebody to be John Doe on stage, I find the best John Doe that's within them and build on that. Start with a great foundation, and I think that's created a very positive feeling with the actors I've worked with, and that's what I like to bring is to bring out of them that fearlessness, which is why we titled the last class Creating the Fearless Instrument. To be unafraid to be themselves and to bring out what they have within them. And so, I try to bring something out of them, and then once it's out and it's available to them and they're unafraid to express it, then you can shape it because you've already shown it to them as a positive, as an asset.
But it's nice also when they actually discover something, on their own.
Right.
They sort of guide them in the right direction, but when they experience it, and feel it in that moment, that's when I think you translate, like book knowledge into actual practicality.
Yeah, it's like we talked about earlier. As a director, I rarely line feed, but I will create I use analogies all the time. Yeah,
you're sneaky.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. No, well, I'll say to them, deliver that line like you're ordering, like you're shouting at your child. Or deliver that line like you're ordering a pizza, or whatever, and they'll do it. That's what I'm looking for. Or with that whole that accent philosophy, that every word has an accent, such as every sentence, every paragraph, every line, every scene has an accent moment in it. But how does that? My question to you is how does your teaching method apply, and how? Because you were so excited by it. How do you feel what you currently do is going to apply, and what are you going to bring to that method that we're offering to the students?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I really am. I think that not every student is going to learn exactly the same way. So I think the idea of me bringing the craft to them, whether it's Meisner, Strasberg, Stella Adler, Chekhov, Eric Morris, Uta Hagen, whomever. We've got, the core curriculum, but there's going to be moments where we're going to see something and we're going to say, there's this craft technique that really is applicable. Let's just dive in, and explore that. So I think bringing a whole variety of craft exercises and tools to them is going to help expand their understanding of, the craft of acting. I get passionate about this. I get very frustrated that people think that they could just memorize lines, get up there, and just be an actor.
Sure.
And you wouldn't be a fireman. You wouldn't be a chef. You wouldn't be an airplane pilot. I don't understand how people just think that they can go up on the stage and just do.
Right.
There's value in exploring. There's value in learning, on the job.
Sure.
But if you don't have a foundation of craft to support what you're doing, you're never going to grow. And so, for me, it's all about bringing the craft to them, exposing them. They'll connect with some things more than others, and those things that they connect with, those tools that they connect with, we really want to massage them and get them working.
Sure.
And then I think, just the idea of, hey, I bring this idea to you, you workshop it, you explore it, and then, you come in and actually say, okay, let's tweak it a little bit here.
Right.
And vice versa. When you bring something and then I tweak it a little bit too, it's going to help expand their understanding of the craft.
That's what I'm most excited about with this collaboration, because I think you present the craft to the actor, and I'm very anxious and excited about watching an actor absorb that craft from you. And there's a level of understanding I think I have with watching an actor try to grasp a concept.
Yep.
And their level of understanding or their level of attempt to achieve it is very obvious to me. It's something that jumps out at me. And I seem to be able to see the roadblocks in their process.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking forward to doing is watching them understand the craft and then open up those roadblocks and make it more accessible to them.
Sure.
You talk about the frustration of an actor. My big thing, and it's why I wouldn't say I'm a Meisner guy, but the thing I love about Meisner's approach is that you cannot do this without doing it truthfully, number one, hence the title of our actors workshop. But also, getting out of your own head is a concept that everybody uses.
But what does it mean?
Right, and
how do you know when you're not in your head?
And it needs to mean something to everybody individually, and they all have their own process. We all have our own techniques, but it has to actually happen. And I've seen actors that work well in their own head and very effectively, and they choose to stay right there, and they're effective and they're successful and they enjoy their craft, and that's great. But there's so many of us that
That's not satisfactory to you, though. I can.
No, not for me as an actor, but that's what I strive for. And maybe not everybody's striving for that, but I strive to try to get that moment where everything else goes away and and that hum happens in your head, and you're just in that moment, and the lines aren't actually right.
It's just here.
Right, and so that's why the Fearless Truth, as we expressed, our goal is to try to create an intensified version of our teaching methods, where it's not like it's not going to be a mean class, but it's going to be more intensified. Yes, what you're doing is good. Let's make that bigger. Let's make that better. And that's why we put this out to somebody who has more work.
Safe environment. Explore unsafe things.
Yeah.
Go to areas that may be uncomfortable.
Sure.
We're definitely going to push.
Yeah.
Help you raise the stakes.
Yeah.
Find the deeper meaning in the material.
Yeah.
The stronger connection with your scene partner. But we will be there to support everybody and encourage everybody the whole way through.
Absolutely. I mean, the scene studies, as we know, the scene selections we're picking for these people, we are casting them. We may have prior knowledge of these actors. They might be fresh. We might be just casting off type and meeting them. But these scenes are going to be developed in such a way that they are going to draw out of that actor or actress what it is we're looking to achieve and give them the opportunity to expand their type, but work within their type. We're not going to cast a 45-year-old woman as an 18-year-old boy. Sure. But we are going to try to give them the opportunity to go deep into some areas of work that we feel are really dangerous. There's a lot of actors that want to stretch, and I said that to my last class, know your type. Yes, I want to play Brick from Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, I'm a little long in the tooth for that. I'm probably a lot long in the tooth for that. I've known actors that played it in their
Yeah.
40s, but
Nobody's ever going to cast me as Stanley Kowalski. It's never going to happen. You know, it's just, I don't have that type. I know my type.
Right,
You know?
right.
And especially, you know, if you're an actor just starting out,
Sure.
and you're looking for representation, and you're going to be going on auditions,
Yeah.
you will be typecast, you know, until you establish yourself as an actor and actress that can you know, produce a wide variety of work.
Right.
You're going to get work that's reasonably close to who you are.
Sure.
And, you know, starting from that place is a wonderful place to start.
No, absolutely, and being comfortable in your type too. You know, whatever you do, you want to do it honestly, you want to do it truthfully, you want to do it to the best of your ability. But you know, but knowing your type and expanding with it, because there is a world of great parts out there, and great experiences and great opportunities for actors to do some amazing work. And I think people like yourself have given some of your students just the ability to really grow. And I've heard such great feedback.
I appreciate that.
No, definitely. And what now the sensory method.
NLP.
NLP. Now you're going to be touching on this a little bit in the class too, right?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I was actually, it's funny, we're on the same wavelength. I was just thinking, okay, let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the class. What are they going to experience?
Right.
Yeah, so there's going to be a mix of craft exercises from a variety of master teachers, whether it's, you know, Meisner, Strasberg, you know, Stella Adler, whatever. There's going to be a variety of craft exercises mixed in with scene study.
Right.
I think, you know, the intention here is to, you know, not do a broad brush stroke and just, you know, just give a summary version of an exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take each class, dive deep into a technique, let the actor explore the actual technique, the tool, and then apply it to the work, apply it to the scene.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to build.
Sure, and that's what I'm most excited about is you having a history with some students as well. And you know, I have a dozen people that took creating the Fearless Instrument that
I hope they all come back.
I hope so too. I think a number of them want to, which is great. But what does this offer in addition to validating what it is that we've expressed in the past to the actors that took our workshops? It also will give a fresh insight of, like you said, when we first collaborated and spoke over coffee, we found such inspiration in our own work and our own ideals and philosophies.
Yeah.
Talking to you broadened and more finely tuned what it was that I was trying to express. Gave me some terminologies that I had not known, some approaches to my instincts that I had not known.
Put a vocabulary around it so we're all on the same page.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I love what I'm most excited about is the scene study analysis that we're doing. Us talking about how we're going to be handling that is fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
The actors are going to do their scenes for us. And it was funny, you said you hate playing director, you want to get into the psyche of the actor. And that's where I'm most comfortable, having that be the basis on which I brought the instruction to.
Was it the directing part?
Yeah, I think that's where I think the inspiration to have the workshop came from actors that have worked for me as a director, wanting to learn more about what it was I wanted from them. And in a play process, you don't have that opportunity.
Yep.
You can't stop the production and say, okay, let's work on you for a moment. And that's what this did.
Yep.
So after their scene studies, I will approach it as a director and say, okay, your movement here seemed, I'm not liking this movement here. Let's have you sit at this moment. Let's have you get up here, have the emotional heightened right here at this moment, because that's what the scene requires from a director. And then, end that portion. In comes Jared to approach why that's happening and how that person can practically achieve those things that a director, because ultimately that's what they want to do.
Yep.
They want to get the part, and they want to feel like they're giving the best performance possible.
Right.